Introverts, how did you meet your girlfriend? We're both introverts. But I definitely can force myself to be bold. I was a waitress at a restaurant he came into. He asked to borrow my pen. I told him only if you write down your number. Sometimes introvert guys need a girl who is not afraid to make the first move. We've been together almost 14 years now. BRB getting rid of all my pens. I met my husband while I was shopping. I spent a good 6 weeks buying incredibly overpriced avocados from the shop he works at, and then after coincidentally winning at Fruitbox weekly draw I added him on FB through the shop's FB page. Minor stalker alert here, and just asked him out. And here we are. A year later. Married. Bonus. The avocados are now free. I met a girl on the internet. Let's call Get M. She was outgoing. Social. Very extroverted and maybe a tad crazy. She came to visit me. About 7 hours drive away. And I awkwardly tried not to make an ass of myself. While visiting. She said, hey. A friend of mine from high school is on a co-op in Termin, city very nearby. We should go meet up with her for an afternoon. Let's call that friend K. K was nerdy. Awkward. Introverted. And I completely re-evaluated what I wanted in a partner within the first 5 minutes of meeting her. K and I both slowly lost contact with M. And to this day we aren't sure if she knows that we became a couple a few years later. Or that we got married. Someday. We're going to run into her and it's going to be really funny. She just started talking to me and never stopped. I told her. If I weren't so socially inept, I'd be trying to have a conversation with you. Married almost 9 years. Blind date. That was 10 years ago. The guy who set us up dropped off the face of the earth before I ever had a chance to thank him. Like. He just fell off the edge. Introvert girl. I met my husband on Xbox Live, Halo 3, almost 10 years ago. Been married for 6 years now. How the FCK? Like how? IFK'd your mom XX triple snippers. How about you FCK me next? She asked me if I wanted to play Mario Kart. I said yes. Both of us work at a grocery store. I saw her and thought that she was the cutest there but never really did anything about it. She works as a cashier and I work and produce. She would always do the reshop and I soon realized that she was doing that for a reason and started flirting with her back. We have been together 11 months now. Introvert BF, Tinder. His picture was him hanging upside down from a tree and his bio said proof that nerds grow on trees. We both made it clear we were looking for a relationship. Met up the day we matched for coffee. Hit it off. And that was that. After 4 years of no dating following a crushing breakup, a mutual friend called to my attention she was into me. I was oblivious. I didn't know her very well. But I was ready to try again. I wasn't even sure I was very attracted to her, but I figured it couldn't hurt to go out on a date with a nice girl. We hit it off. She's pretty shy. Which is why she said she'd never had the courage to try to talk to me. In the course of the first date I'm slowly realizing she's amazing. Many years later. Opens notepad. Send me the file later. THX. I'm a female. But I am very introverted. I met my now husband at the gym. I would always work out with my brother and my now husband thought I was dating my brother because we were always at the gym together. When he asked my brother how long we had been dating, we both looked at each other and said UHH. We're siblings so never. He asked my brother if we could all work out sometime and I went full on awkward when we did. He was showing me a new workout and he almost smashed my face in with a dumbbell. I walked off because I was so embarrassed and started working out alone. Then he asked me out to lunch and we hit it off. Edit. Reworded a sentence. Writes in notebook. Hit woman. Chase. At a Japanese rope bondage workshop. She needed someone to tie. I was looking for someone to tie me. Still tied. That's why. So and I are both introverts. We met on Bebo in 2008. 10/10 would recommend meeting people on Bebo in 2008. 0/10 would not recommend meeting people on Bebo in 2017. Put yourself around extroverts, one of them will adopt you sooner or later. The thing with introverts is, it's difficult to keep a conversation going. Until, that is, you find this one subject they are most passionate about. It's not long ago I shared how I met my husband. He's the introvert. He kept coming into the bar I worked. And I kept asking him questions trying to get a conversation going. But I kept hitting a wall. It didn't stop me from trying though. It confuses me to think back on. Because I was also very annoyed with him. But anyway. After asking about so many things. I finally on day 4. Asked him about books. And the boy never shut his mouth thereafter. So to all introverts out there. Asking questions is difficult. But you're all passionate about something. Whatever it is. Lead the conversation towards that one subject. That you feel confident talking about. Then all the rest will come more easily. I can't believe my husband didn't ask, so do you read any books? Who's your favorite author? When he's so passionate about them. For 4 days all we did was. Me. Question. Him. Answer. Me. Dot. Me. Question. I saw a cute girl in a house party and asked her if she had been to the chocolate shop. Going through the comments, here's what I've gathered. -1. Get drunk. -2. Be lucky enough to have someone approach you. -3. Online dating. -4. Jump straight to step 4. At work. She's very persistent. And finally convinced me to go see a movie together. It's a good place for introverts. Really. It's dark. You can only see yourself and the person sitting next to you. Accidental popcorn grab, hand touch here and there. Accidental? My husband is an introvert. I liked him all through high school. We were friends for 13 years. Finally. One day. I looked at him and said, how come we've never dated? We should date. He said okay. Got married in 2015. Had our baby in 2016. Online dating. Cut out all the crap and filter selectively. I've only sent messages to a handful of women. Only chatted with 3. Only gone on dates with 1. We've been together for 8 years now. Married for 3. Edit. Whoa. A lot more replies than I anticipated. I should probably add a disclaimer. Results not typical and may or may not be reproducible. Your success rate may vary. Typical message range varies from 1 to 1 million. Typical date range varies from 1 to 1 million. Before entering the online dating world, consult your doctor, therapist, bartender and lawyer. Side effects may or may not include loneliness, happiness, desperation, good conversation, sad masturbation, bankruptcy, lots of sex and lots of awkward silences. Proceed with caution and at your own risk. Best of luck. And may red odds be forever in your favor. Probably will be buried. But hey. I think it's cute. We're both introverts. And as a result, it took a little while for us to actually become romantically involved, a little while being 7 years. She and I met when we were both 11. When we were put together to compete in a music competition as a duet. We're both cellists. I had a little 11-year-old crush on her straight away. And she had the same thing for me. Neither of us ever told the other about our feelings for years. Instead talking to our friends about it and then getting into other relationships and forgetting about each other for a while. Eventually. After I broke up with my girlfriend of 3 years. I asked my now so if she wanted to catch up and play some music together. We saw each other for a few weeks in a row. And then. After 7 years of on and off feelings for each other. We became a thing. And I am happier than I've ever been. Edit. At a bar. She came up to me. Step 1. Be attractive. Got very drunk and lost my inhibitions. I keep trying that but it never works because I just drink alone in my room. I was living in a duplex with some friends. One day I decided to take one of my roommate's dog for a walk. Which I never usually did. Shortly after leaving the house I was stopped by a girl who asked, "Don't I know you from somewhere?" I had never seen her before. But it was enough to start the small talk. She helped me walk the dog around the block and we were basically inseparable from that point on. What my introvert self failed to notice at the time. She had been stalking me for weeks. Trying to get me to notice her. Walking her own dog past my house. Riding her bike next to my car. Waiting for me to get home from work when I would unknowingly street park in front of her house where she would be doing yard work. She succeeded by catching me walking that dog, which, remember, I never ever did. It was fate, I guess. 6 months after meeting her I moved out of the duplex and 5 houses down the street. Lol. Married 16 years now. We met in a science fiction class at college. And we absolutely hated each other. She thought I was an idiot and I thought she was a know-it-all bitch. We argued. We squabbled. We one-upped. We are both super nerds. So it was a seemingly endless battle of esoteric knowledge about science fiction literature. At some point we got to arguing about Atlas Shrugged. I made several trenchant remarks about its lack of literary value. And she aggressively defended it. One thing led to another. And before I knew it we were watching The Empire Strikes Back and dating. We're engaged now. She still thinks I'm an idiot. I still think she's a bitch. But we don't hate each other anymore. Eater. I proposed next to the Intrepid in Nick by the Star Trek exhibit with an Enterprise ring in a box that had a picture of Picard saying engage. I really hope this thread takes off because I could definitely use advice on this. Be free. Be firm. Be fine. Be fair. Be loved. And learn to love your share. Be brave. Be bold. Be tough. Be true. But if you're shitty, then don't be you. She just made me her boyfriend one day and I don't really want a girlfriend and I'm too scared to end it. Introverted girl here. Hope that's okay. Met my boyfriend on Reddit. How TF do you meet someone on Reddit? At work. She worked there also. I was having lunch with my dad at my work and she comes up to me and slides me her number on a piece of paper and says call me. My dad just looked at me with proud eyes like I had just won the lottery. I did. That was 17 years ago. We have been married 11 years. She asked about the USB hanging around my neck and I explained how I like to keep my PRN collection with me at all times. All 2 GB of it. Edit. 2 GB? Those are rookie numbers. I'm definitely a hardcore introvert. At least if you believe Myers-Briggs tests. But I'm not shy. Don't have anxiety or anything like that. Still, I always had confidence issues. And could never manage a cold open with a girl. Even with friends of friends that I liked. I found creative ways to FCK things up and make them horrifically awkward. Met my wife on eHarmony. Dated for 4 years. Married for almost 5 now. Just had our first kid. After talking online. We met at a bar. And just hit it off. Funny thing is. She's way different than me. Much more extroverted. I've rubbed off on her a little. And she's rubbed off on me a little. For me. My problem was always that I couldn't tell if a girl was interested. And I could never tell when I was crossing the line from flirting to being creepy. And I was never looking for anything casual. I wanted a relationship. By meeting a girl online. I knew she was interested. And looking for the same thing as me. So I didn't get all in my own head about it. And I was free to just be myself. Did fine after that. Was at a party at her place. There was a drinking game. We got completely wrote off. Woke up in bed with her. The rest is history. Edit. 10 years and 1 child later. We're planning to get married in Hawaii next year. All these replies. Almost every comment looks like extroverts. Dead. After my divorce, I walked into her classroom every day for 6 months to pick up my kid. She finally found me on Facebook and we started talking every day. She then informed me she had been flirting with me for 6 months. Now we've been married for 4 years. She and I lived in the same small town where we'd commute every Sunday to the larger city nearby for church. She recognized me in town one day and asked to get a ride in that Sunday with me and my roommate. So she kept getting rides and I kept not talking to her much cause introvert. Just polite small talk until finally one day we both were going to our respective hometowns for a visit. Hers happened to be on the way to mine and so she got a ride and almost 3 hours of chatting later we were much better friends. Asked her out a few months later. At the arrivals section at the airport where she came off of a plane from St. Petersburg. So just to clarify, you mail ordered your Russian GF? Or did you have mad pickup game at the airport? 2D plane or 3D plane? Not me. But I am a wedding photographer and I always ask for my couple's love stories. This one couple I have is the most introverted two people I've ever met. They have a mutual friend. Mutual friend asks one, hey, would you date boy? She says maybe. Friend asks boy, do you date girl? Full stop. He says sure. After a phone call they go on a date. It's good. A few months later they're engaged. Good job, friend. I kidnapped her father and then his daughter and she fell in love with me through Stockholm syndrome. Anyways, we kissed and she broke the curse that stupid witch placed on me. In a drama class in senior year. Never talked much till after graduation, then I saw her at Comic Con and spent the day with her. Ended up kissing before we left and 4 years later we're getting married in 5 months. I went out and was extroverted for a bit. Mutual friend made her add me on FB. She sent me the message. Too many cooks and nothing else. We talked for a week. Met. Kissed. Met her parents 2 days later. 2.5 years later we're moving in with each other. It takes a lot to make a stew. Female introvert here who met my boyfriend on World of Warcraft. I never went on there looking for anybody. I just wanted to play. But it happened and I'm glad we met each other. He moved to my country. Found a job and I moved in with him. He's actually way more extroverted than I am. He's usually off at some party every other weekend. While I'd rather stay home. We no longer play WoW though. Haha. Mostly Overwatch these days. Math class in my senior year of high school. I asked her for help because I thought she knew what she was doing. She didn't but helped me anyway because she thought I was cute. I found out she was cool when she asked me if I wanted to see something gross and showed me a picture of a pink sock. She also lovingly called our math teacher a cum dumpster. We're still together after over 2 years. Math? I would have thought you had. What's a girlfriend? Met a girl in high school. Apparently she had a crush on me. She started talking to me one day out of the blue. 14 years and 2 kids later and I'm still waiting for her to stop. Literally met her on our Philastabander's Minecraft server. Went on a night out in Chester. Was originally not gonna go because I'm not a fan of drinking, but my best friend managed to convince me to go out. There were 6 of us, 2 couples, me and another girl. I'm really shy and find it difficult to talk to girls, so for the first few hours I didn't say a word to her. Then we moved to the next bar over. After about an hour in this bar, my best friend's girlfriend ran up the stairs and whispers something into his ear. He comes up to me and his exact words, "Listen, Mike. All you have to do is talk to her. I'm not asking you to do rocket science, just f***ing talk to her." So I did, and it started off small like, "How are you, where do you work?" and it ended with me losing my virginity that night. Still together after 2 months. First day of college I knew I wanted to change and put myself out there. So at this orientation thing for tech majors I spoke to the one girl I saw. She was a cute shy looking redhead. Anyhow, just introduced myself and was nice. Nothing happened and I went along my way. 2 days later we're at another orientation thing outdoors with the whole freshman class at a lawn type area and I see her. She's surrounded by 4-6 friends of hers, so I ask my new roommate to be my wingman. He declines. Damn coward. But I'm putting myself out there, damn it. I walk up to them. Say hi. Introduce myself. Start talking to that girl and ask for her number. Never done anything like that before. I got it. That night I text her and ask if she'd like to explore campus with me and she says yes. Close bracket. We hit it off. Talking and walking. We'd go to a movie and stuff. Hang out in each other's dorms. 2 weeks later she asks what we're and I respond by holding her hand as we walked. 11 years later we're happily married. I didn't. I'm alone. Send help. I'm an introvert and so is my husband and we met at school where we both studied. After reading these comments. If I don't drink I'm kinda f-ked. Ha. On plentyfish.com. My advice on your online profile. Make it as goofy fun as possible. I used to say I'm an honest guy looking for an honest girl blah blah blah. Then I changed it to say I'm a retired Buddhist ninja. I run with scissors. I take expired medication and I cut off my fingers for being bad, so it took forever to write this. My inbox blew up. I had more dates than I could afford. Basically my profile stood out from the usual ones. I'm now married and have been for over 6 years. Good luck everyone.